Hello and welcome to a video all about how you can make delicious rose syrup. This recipe makes about 800 ml of final product, and you can use any rose petals you have to hand just so long as they are fresh and as highly scented as you can find. I'm using wild dog roses because they have a delightful perfume and it's what I happen to have to hand. Also note though that the petals you want to be as old as possible. They should be just about to fall off the plant would be ideal. That way they've had the longest time possible to imbibe the strongest flavour. And to make this syrup you are going to need 150 grams of rose petals that have been rinsed to remove any insects or unwanted material, 500 grams of granulated sugar, 500 ml of water, and a few bits and bobs from around the kitchen, including a pan, a slotted spoon, a funnel and something you can use to strain the syrup, such as either muslin, cheesecloth or a clean tea towel, and obviously something to store your rose syrup in, such as some sterilised bottles or jars. And the first thing we're going to do is put both the sugar and the water in a pan and then set it over a high heat. While it's heating, stir the sugar constantly and gently just until it's dissolved and the liquid is running clear once again. And then you can add your petals. Now my pan is a little bit small, so I'm adding them in batches, and as they sit into the warming sugar water they will reduce in size so that I can keep adding more in until I've got the whole batch in there. Once they're all in, you need to bring them slowly up to a heat, just until they reach the point where they have got a very slight simmering action, just a few little bubbles around the edges. Don't bring the pan to a rolling boil, that is too much and you will lose a lot of the rose flavouring if it gets that hot. But at this very gentle simmering temperature, keep stirring the mixture, turn those petals over and over, and you should see some of the colour starting to leach into the syrup, turning it a very pinky pale purple. Although to be honest, the colour that yours becomes will depend very much on the colour of the roses that you started off with, and obviously the darker in colour they were, the darker the final product is going to be. After about 10 minutes of very gentle simmering, take the syrup straight off the heat and place it to one side. Then use a slotted spoon or even a fork if you have to, just to strain those petals out as much as you can. And then pour the syrup through a funnel into something that can strain the little bits away from it. Anything that has a nice fine weave, such as a cheesecloth or a muslin, will do. Pour the syrup either straight into your bottles if you're confident to do so, or into a jug first if that's easier. And then while the syrup is still hot but not boiling, you can pour it into your sterilised bottles. Once decanted like this, your syrup will last up to a year in an unopened bottle and around 6 weeks once it's been opened. But once made, it is ready to use immediately, or in honesty, I quite like giving them away as a bit of an unusual gift. Anywho though, I hope you've enjoyed this little recipe, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye!